Morning folks, lovely day here in Cheshire today, nice and sunny, so we're working outside. We're going to be doing some baby back stroke spare ribs, pork spare ribs. I asked my butcher for some nice really meaty ribs and I haven't even opened them, so I don't know what they're going to look like, but they feel really nice and heavy and should have a lot of meat in it. You know that you've heard of the doing ribs 3-2-1 method, which is 3 hours smoke, 2 hours wrapped, and 1 hour for glazing. That's normally for beef ribs, but with pork ribs you can do 2 hours smoke, 2 hours wrap, and 1 hour glaze, or maybe 3/4 of an hour glaze. But these are quite big, so we'll just play it by ear and see how they go. If they're thick enough, I'll use my meter probes just to get a feel of the temperature, initial temperature while we're doing the smoke. I've got some lovely apple wood for smoking. It's from a local applery. Whenever she has a tree fall down, she phones me and I go and collect it, and I then chop it into small pieces and put it behind my shed for a few months to dry out. These today, I've just checked them, they're 12% moisture, so it's absolutely ideal now for them. So we've got some nice smoke. We're going to prepare the ribs, and then we will put some rub on them. One of them will have a peach rub. One of them will have SPOGs, which is salt, pepper, onion and garlic and some spices and herbs. We'll rub them first, one with olive oil and one is going to have mustard. You don't get the taste of mustard, it's really just to act as a binder. So, okay, we'll just have a quick look at these. Those are lovely. Wow, they really are nice. Okay, so I'll now get prepared to get them sorted and we'll carry on from there. Right, so by the looks of things we don't need to prepare a lot on these. There's this membrane on the underside. This here we can't really do much with. Can leave a bit of this fat, maybe some of this fat we'll take off. So we'll just take off some of this extra fat. Got a chunk on here. Right, then for the membrane, you get a knife and you just go underneath, if it works. Sometimes it's quite difficult. You just sort of try and get underneath it. Not a very easy one, this. Once you get it going, you can pull it. It's not very easy, this one at all. Sometimes it's easier if you use some kitchen towel. There we are, now we've got it. And you pull it off. A little piece more there. Try and get this other one, this other side as well. Not going very easy, this one. Just chop him off. Okay. There's a little bit of membrane left there, but that'll be fine. This side, I'm quite happy with that. There's a lot of meat on these. Right, so this one, chop some more of this stuff off there. My knives are all from Japa knives. I really like them. I've got a whole set of them, set of 8, and in the description I have got a link to them, and they're offering a discount for our viewers as well. Right, so we just need to get some of this fat off. Then let's try and get this membrane off. I've got to try and get underneath it. Kitchen towel on there, nice and easy. And you then grab it and it just peels off nicely. So a little bit more left on here. Right, so that's all the membrane's gone. Next thing we will do is get some olive oil on this one. Can be any oil, doesn't have to be olive oil. Put a bit of olive oil on. It just acts as a binder. I probably should take this little flap off, but I like meat, so let's just leave them on. A bit of olive oil on this side. So in this one we're going to have some SPOGs, salt, pepper, garlic, onion, spices and some herbs. We're just going to be generous, put a whole lot on. This is a mix I make up myself. There is a recipe for it, the instructions in the description. If you don't take off the membrane, you don't get all your flavors going through, and it just stops it from cooking nicely. On the sides, each end. Right, so that one's done. So we'll change over. We'll put him on the tray. This one then we're going to do with some mustard. Just any old mustard. Don't get the hot mustard. Just this normal French flavored mustard is fine. My wife and mother-in-law, who's living with us at the moment, don't like barbecue because it's a bit hot. So on this one, it's going to be for myself and my son, who's popping around tonight. We're going to put some SPOGs first and follow that up with some peach rub. Really is a nice rub, this one. I've had it a couple of times now. Put it on, turn it over. That side, put some SPOGs, just a nice little mixture on the edges. Some of this on the edges. Right, so those now are ready to go in the fridge. I'll put them in the fridge till we eat, which will be in about three hours. I will start them because it's going to take like 4 hours to cook, so probably 2 hours in the fridge, and then we will see you back here. We're also going to make up a nice glaze for it, and whilst they are smoking, we're going to spritz them every 30 minutes or so with apple juice. that's it. So into the fridge you go, and then we'll see you later. Okay, so basically I've set up my smoker now for the minion method, where we've put all the briquettes around inside, and we put the tin there to cause a hole, and then we'll get our burning charcoal and put it inside, and then take the tin away, and then it'll just burn out slowly from inside to outside. So that's looking from the top now. So over here is our charcoal starter. So that is all nice and ready. So this now sometimes gets a bit messy. Okay, so that's all in there. Quite a few flames in there, but hot, but still it'll be fine. And then we pull out the tin like that, and now it's left all the coals in the middle, and we put some of our wood inside of it. Let that little settle down. We'll put all the smoker together and then carry on. Okay, so I always like to use a water pan. So we will fill the water pan up. The smoke is going. So the water pan acts as a heat sink. So it stores a lot of energy, a lot of temperature, and it also keeps it moist inside the smoker. So all in all, I think it's a good idea. A lot of people use sand instead of water, but I've always used water. Right, so now we can put the bottom grate on and get some ribs. So let's put them in there. Next one on top. We have got a meter probe in here just to see how the temperature goes. So we'll see. We'll close up now and we'll just let it go. A couple of hours at least like this, and then we can wrap it and then glaze it after that. Got some apple wood inside and it's starting to smoke. So it's all go. Okay, so next I need to make some glaze for once we glaze it later. I know I'm using gas, but it's one of those things, it's easier than using it inside. So we start off with a blob of butter like that, and we add some plum jam, apricot jam, anything like that. Some sugar, some barbecue sauce, right, so now we get this to all melt. Mix it around. We will cover it for now and we'll come back in a few minutes. A little stir after a few minutes. Want it all to melt down. Get into it. Oh, it's bubbling away nicely. I've got some paprika just for color. And then I throw some port or some whiskey or anything like that, just to give it a bit of oomph. With a good stir. Then now we got to reduce it down quite a bit. Taste it. That is good. Now I've just got to let it reduce. Right, that's really bubbling away nicely now. Right, that's nice now. It's reduced a lot. We'll let that cool off. And once we have smoked the ribs and then wrapped them, we will then put some of this on it for about 15-20 minutes, depends on the amount of time we've got, and it'll be delicious. Right, let's have a look at these. We've got our spritz bottle ready. We forgot to get some apple juice, so we'll just use some Coke. Looking nice. The bottom one. Let's just get into the bottom one a bit more. They're looking good. That's it. We'll be back later. Right, so I've had about 2.5 hours now. Looking good. Yeah, right, so we're now going to take them off and wrap them. Let's do some wrapping. I've got some bit of foil, just some thinnish foil. This is the one that was on the top. So it's going to go down on the bottom first this time. So we get some margarine, butter, whatever you've got available. Give it a bit of a feel there. We get some honey. Honey like that. Some Sweet Baby Ray's. I love this stuff, I really do. Sweet Baby Ray's. And a few SPOGs just to put a bit more on. We then wrap with the first layer. And then I've got some other thicker stuff over here. Shiny stuff in. Shiny in. The ribs are up at the moment, so the ribs are going to have to go down. And these across. And this one ready. This is now going to go on the bottom shelf, and the next one will go on the top shelf. Same again, got some thinnish foil. I should have actually put the stuff on the top of that one, but it doesn't matter, because once you turn it over, it'll all be there anyway. So, of course, yeah, all these bottles and that will get cleaned afterwards. We'll wrap these up into there. I'm going to put my meter in there as well, my probe. It's not going to make a lot of difference now, because to tell when the ribs are ready, you need to push a spike through a toothpick or something like that, or a probe, a temperature probe or something. Just push it through nicely. If it goes in nice and easy, it's ready. So that's it. This is going on the smoker now for another couple of hours. We'll see you later. These have now had about an hour and a half in the wrapping, in the foil. So now I've got my glaze that we made earlier on. I've only got one hand here, so I'm just going to pour it on a bit onto each of them. Get the these are now going to go back on, and hopefully they'll be ready in time. So they're back in now. It's been about 15 minutes. Bottom. This should be the last time I put any of the glaze on. Let's do the top one and then I'll do the bottom one afterwards. And then to test if it's ready, I just get a probe. Oh, that goes straight through. Absolutely perfect. That hit a bone. Oh, right through. No effort at all. These are ready, and my visitors are about to arrive. We've got to sit outside because we're still under semi-lockdown situation. Right, so guys, that is it. I'm going to take them inside. And that's what I do when I take everything off. I close all the vents, put some of my new wood in that I've just got. This is pear, some pear tree. So that just helps it start drying out. Right, so there we have it. Absolutely beautiful. Right, let's see how it looks. Oh, oh, oh. That is probably the nicest ribs I've ever done. So there we have it. Both of them are looking so good. And I did get that off just now. So really, really happy.